All right, guys, welcome to the Kids in Comedy first ever Zoom show. I'm very excited to be here. I was missing stand up, I was missing all of you guys watching. So this is going to be really cool. This is obviously. All right, guys, welcome to the Kids in Comedy. Oh, that's me. Hear my 1 second. So there's a little bit of a delay on the stream. This is all like an experiment. We've never done this before, so we're going to be working out the kinks. I urge you guys to be patient with us. So thanks for tuning in on YouTube. We'll be checking the chat as well, see how you guys are doing. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We got a lot of funny comics here for you today. I think we got like 60 or something viewers on YouTube. So cool. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope some of you moms have started TikTok accounts, all that. Hope your dogs are tired of being walked at this point. I know mine are. It's been good for me. I didn't go back to Brazil. I stayed here in New Jersey with my aunt and uncle. I've been doing like Zoom online classes. I'll tell you guys like a little story. The other day I was doing like a Zoom online class, right? And I had the window, I was doing something else while I was in class. So I had the window minimized, and I had the class muted. So I couldn't hear what the teacher was saying. I could just see her little video in the top right corner as I was doing something else. And then I see that the teacher's like raising her hand in the video. So I was like, oh, she's probably like polling the class or something. So I raised my hand too, show that I support whatever she's raising her hand for. And then I unmute the video to see what I'm raising my hand for. And she's like, oh, just Luca then. Luca, how long have you been a Beyonce fan? So I guess I'm that guy in class now, the big Beyonce fan. But it's been fun, I think this will be cool. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do in Zoom. Hang on, I'm gonna go to my virtual background corner. See, this is one of the benefits of doing Zoom, is you guys can move around with me. 1 sec. And I'll go through the ground rules of a regular comedy show. There's some advantages to Zoom. For example, you guys can take flash photography now. It's not gonna bother us. I don't know why you would want to, but you can. You can also talk. We can't hear you guys. So that's good. I'm gonna, and then obviously we could be anywhere in the world, right? So, a nice beach, cool. So I'm gonna do, most of you in the comments have probably heard my material before. So I'll try to do one of my jokes, but Zoom style, all right? So, I was chilling in the comedy club doing one of my jokes when someone came up to me after the show and they're like, oh, hey, Luca. You said you were from Brazil. What part of Brazil are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from São Paulo. And they were like, well, you don't say that like you're from Brazil. Because I was supposed to be like, São Paulo, I don't know. But this guy wouldn't let it go. He was like angry. Like he became like bald and fat. And he was like, are you really from Brazil? I hate when people say they're from Brazil. They're not actually from Brazil. Prove it. Prove you're from Brazil. So I robbed him, rob that guy. But I'm excited for the show. We got a lot of good comics, and instead of the regular shows how I just introduce people as I bring them up, I wanted to introduce our comics to you before the show this time. So our first comic, this is not the order they'll be performing in, this is just for you to get to know them a little bit. We got James Wang, great comic, very funny guy. A long time. His screen's the picture's a little blurry. It could either be because I couldn't find a less blurry picture, or it could also represent how James sees the world without his glasses. So it could be. We also got Julian Gerber, beast. You could see his friends gassing him up in the Instagram comments. We got Spencer Kahn. This looks like. Looks like it's a Bitmoji, but no, this is Spencer's actual face.
Thank you for leaking my Snapchat account.
Yeah, you should go add him on Snap.
Go add Spencer on Snap right now.
Please do. We also got Lauren White. She looks a little spooked in this picture, but that's just because she saw that picture of Julian from earlier. What else? Oh yeah, and then the next two comics, fortunately for them, I could either not find their Instagram or I couldn't find anything embarrassing. But Petra Popper Friedman, she is very she lucked out, and then Maya Arden as well.
Oh,
so
that's beautiful.
my bad. I know how to remove. Good. And then after that, we're gonna have a very special guest, someone who is a mystery. I'm not gonna tell you who it is right now, but you guys might know her. If you read the lineup, you probably already ruined the surprise for yourself. So don't look at the lineup. Then you got me, your host. You know, these are pictures my mom posts on Facebook. It's like she waits till I'm eating and then posts them. Some say I'm a cross between Ben Stiller and Andre the Giant. That's what I've heard before. But on that note, if you guys are ready to get the show started, comics, are you guys ready? They're on this live stream. You guys feeling good? Yeah. Feeling great. So I'm ready to get the show on the road. Hope you YouTube folks are ready too. Type whatever you want in the chat. Funniest comment in the chat. Get a prize at the end. I don't know, a raffle. But okay, so your first comic coming up to the stage. She's very funny. She's been with the program a long time, and we all love her here. Give it up for Lauren White. Yeah.
When I got a friend request on Instagram from Luca a few days ago, I thought he just wanted to be my friend, but I didn't know this was going to be used for some blackmail, but too much. So everyone, welcome to my bedroom. You know what they always say, it's not stand-up comedy without trophies from day camp and horrifying elementary school art projects in the background. So thank you all for coming to the first Kids in Comedy online show. We are basically the lab rats testing out this new format. So if you don't think we're funny, you can just blame it on the bad Wi-Fi. And also, since we're not having a real audience and I crave the approval of other people, I have forced my parents to sit here and watch my set. So no pressure, guys, but I'll finally get to see what you actually think of my comedy. So without further ado, I am a senior in college, which means that I just finished the college process, which is very exciting. And for all of you who might be older and might not know exactly what the process is like, it basically just means that family members who I haven't seen since I was in utero feel entitled to ask any questions about college applications, like where'd you apply? Oh, what was your SAT score? How about those extracurriculars? And you see, I think it's okay that adults want to ask all these questions about truly the worst topic humanly possible. I just believe that it's only fair if we get to ask them a series of incredibly invasive questions too. Like when they ask, oh, where'd you apply early? We say something like, how was your colonoscopy last week? I want all the dirty details. Tell me everything. Or, have you always had that gaping bald spot on the top of your head? Oh, you kind of look like Danny DeVito over there. Or, speaking of college, I'm curious, how's that debt going for you? Yikes, man. And so for maybe all the juniors out there, I'm sorry that coronavirus has kind of made your college process a little different, but you probably know that whenever you get to a certain part in every college tour, you get to the inevitable point where your tour guide will be like, what does it take to be a student at our illustrious elite university? I don't know why there's a British accent, but we're just going to go with it. Our students are smart, they're dedicated, and they're passionate. And the truth is, they basically describe every single human being with more than one brain cell. So I think that colleges need to be more specific about what they're actually looking for in an applicant. Like, instead of saying things like, we would like our students to be mature, say something like, did the last book you read have pictures in it? Or instead of saying something like, we want our students to be well adjusted, say something like, can you say the words Homo erectus without laughing? Or instead of saying something like, we would like to accept any applicant from completely diverse backgrounds, it doesn't matter to us, say something like, if you have a building named after your family, you're really good to go. Being quarantined in my family's house. It's made me really nostalgic. Also being a senior in high school, it's made me think a lot about my childhood, you know, like all of the books I used to read when I was a kid. And honestly, I've realized retrospectively, kids' books are absolutely terrifying. I mean, maybe you don't believe me, but like, first, take the Boxcar Children. 4 unsupervised minors have been abandoned by all their living progeny and are forced to take shelter in an abandoned train car because they have no other options. That's just a tetanus epidemic waiting to happen. And honestly, like, you know, your town is bad when they just have like the abandoned train car that everyone references and it's just sitting in the woods. But you as a reader just have to watch the most terrible decisions be made by these poor little children. They'll be like, oh my God, I just found the cutest little puppy in the woods. You know, it has foam coming right out of its mouth and it just bit off like 6 of my fingers, but I think we're gonna keep it. It's so cute. And you just want to be like, Child Protective Services, where are you? Come on. No, but another one is Nancy Drew. And you might think that book is fine, but when you look back at it, you realize it's literally about a middle school girl who is forced to solve really high felonies instead of, I don't know, law enforcement officials, the police. I mean, like, what could she do? Use her really awesome knowledge of the 50 states and capitals to figure out who committed the arson? Thank you, Dad. Finally, his approval. Honestly, like, you can you imagine being actually from that town, like running into the police station? Oh my gosh, my house, it's just been robbed. And then the cop just looks up from his meatball sub and he's like, sir, you know, we do things a little differently around here. All our crimes are solved 50 years late by a child. But no, the worst book, hands down, this not even a question. This one takes first prize, is The Bridge to Terabithia. Okay, that book, terrifying. It messed me up. You know, the reason I am doing stand-up comedy for you today is because I read that book when I was a child. And I can just picture that author fresh off of her MFA program or whatever, and she's just looking at her computer screen like, you know what I think would be a really great lesson for children? If you have a best friend, you love them more than anything in the world, you would do anything for them. Get ready because they're gonna die violently right before your eyes. Ha ha ha! You know, kid stuff. I don't know, but I recently went to medieval times. I don't know if anyone has been there. But for those of you who might not be so familiar with this illustrious location, it's basically a place where adults or kids with very little dignity go to watch failed actors joust each other on horseback while eating mac and cheese with their hands and wearing paper crowns, you know, for historical accuracy. But, you know, the thing I really don't understand about medieval times is that, like, in history, the Middle Ages is legitimately considered the Dark Ages, okay? So to put it in perspective, it's not only did they use chamber pots in the Middle Ages, they legitimately could think of absolutely zero other way to dispose of the contents of said chamber pot other than to dump it out of their window and onto people just like walking in the street below. And if you got like hit by the stuff that was flying out of that, like, it's not like you could just go to your house and change your shirt. This was the Middle Ages. That was your one shirt that you were going to be wearing until you died of old age at 35. And so this got me thinking, you know, what other historical horrors could be made into like chain restaurants? Would you be like, oh, get ready to spend your bachelor party at the Great Depression bar. You can't eat anything and you're trying not to catch polio on that. Sounds like a great time to me. Or take your rambunctious little toddler to the bubonic plague ground. I mean, they'll get some pretty great exercise running away from those rats. Or take your family of 4 to an all-inclusive Titanic cruise. Oh, I mean, it's not terrible. At least you won't run out of ice for your drinks. Well, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your show. Thank you so much for watching. You're the best. Stay healthy, everyone. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Thank you so much. That was awesome, Lauren. Thank you to Lauren, and thank you to the two hostages in the background.
Eating them, don't worry.
I stole
Thank
that
you.
joke from someone in the chat. I think it was Julian. But our next comic on stage is also very funny. We love him around here. Give it up for James Wang.
Yeah, James.
Hey guys. This is probably the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life so far. But let's get to it because I have nothing better to do at 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. So it's quarantine's been weird. I've been watching a lot of kids shows because I have the brain of a 5-year-old. Some of these kid shows have super weird concepts. For example, Paw Patrol is definitely weird. I have no respect for Ryder and his group of 6 pups. I think they're blasphemous. I think what they do is pure prepostery or whatever the word uses. Because listen, right? Their motto is there's no mission too big and there's no puppy too small. That's absolute crap. Listen, unless they save the United States from World War III, unless President Trump is on his back heels, we're about to be taken over by the Russians, and he says, listen, Ryder and your 6 puppies go save us, and they do, I have no respect for them. I have absolutely zero respect for them. In addition, I was watching some Curious George. Super weird show too. My first question is, does the man in the yellow hat own any different clothes? Is he wearing just the same yellow shirt, yellow pants, yellow hat every single day? Does he do laundry? Does he smell like a pile of trash, or does he smell good? I don't know. And also, how is George still alive? This man in the yellow hat is super irresponsible. He let George get a job at a bakery cleaning windows. I can't even do that, and I'm an 18-year-old grown man. This monkey somehow has a better resume than I do. I don't get it. But I think the weirdest show that I've watched so far is Tom and Jerry. Now, kids, Tom and Jerry should be rated M for mature, 100%. Tom and Jerry is about a cat and a mouse trying to kill each other for 18 years. In comparison, this violent conflict lasted longer than both World War I and World War II combined. So, in one episode, Tom wears a dog skin to try to eat Jerry. That's some serial killer material right there. I mean, forget Conversations with Ted Bundy. I want to watch Conversations with Tom from Tom and Jerry on Netflix. I want to hear all his methods, all his endeavors on trying to kill Jerry. I want to hear all of that. That would bring the rating sky high for me. Also, if they ever succeeded, they would end up on an episode of CSI SVU or Making a Murderer. And I could just imagine Tom in jail, Tom being or someone going around asking all the prisoners hey, Jason, what are you in here for? Oh, I just committed grand theft auto. Oh, what about you, Hector? Oh, I did grand larceny. Oh, what about you, Tom? Well, I killed a mouse with a frying pan wearing a dog skin. And then the one guy's like, I'm never talking to you again. Please stay away from me. Guys, there's not a lot to do at home. My mom is getting through it though. She dances, she does Pilates, and she watches some Homeland. Now, Homeland is her favorite show. It airs every Sunday, 9/8 Central on Showtime, I think. I don't even know. I don't really care about it when she watches it. But I asked her one day, I was like, Mom, what is Homeland about, really? And she says, well, James, Homeland is about how the Russians are trying to corrupt the U.S. government. And I said, Mom, are you sure you're not watching CNN News? And she got a little annoyed because it's her favorite show. And she got a little defensive. She was like, no, James, in this show, the conspiracy is exposed. You know, the Russians are arrested and the president resigns. And I said, Mom, are you sure you're not watching a future episode of CNN News? But I have to agree with her. I mean, I have to, because modern stuff these days aren't so great. I can't say that I love it, especially modern music and especially modern hip hop music, because don't get me wrong, some of it is good, but most of it is so repetitive. I mean, the lyrics are repetitive, the beats all sound all the same. Even the names have become unbearable. You want to become a rapper? Look around your room, find the first thing you see, and put the word little in front of it. So if I looked around my bedroom, my rapper names would be Little Lamp, Little Clothes Hanger, and Little Amazon Alexa, which isn't a bad name, as you say so myself. But my least favorite rapper, this guy, this little gent by the name of Lil Pump, I don't like him. I think he's one of the most uncreative people to ever step foot on the earth. And his song, D-Rose, the first 4 stanzas has an astounding 7 words, 7 different words. That's the vocabulary of a first grader. And I think that I can write a song about how much I love chicken ramen noodle soup better than he can write a song about anything else. And that's exactly what I did. So without further ado, I'm gonna grab a microphone and I'm gonna perform this. I'm gonna grab a microphone right here. Don't ask what this is. I have no idea. All right. Yeah, I love my chicken noodle ramen. Yeah, something better is uncommon. Yeah, I like to eat it with my chopsticks. Ramen haters need to stop it. Man, I love it when the soup's hot. My mama cooks it in the crock pot. When I eat it, man, I don't chew. Yeah, talk trash, I'ma fight you. Yeah, flow change. Listen, when I eat it, I go slurpity slurp. Too much gas in my stomach, I go burpity burp. If I spill it, I don't clean it up. Just kidding, my mom will beat me up. Man, I hate it when the noodle's soggy, cause the steam makes my glasses foggy. My bar is hot, my flow brand new. Talk trash, Little Pump, I'll destroy you. This has been your boy, Little Amazon Alexa. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Everybody in the chat, spam the fire emoji. We want to see those. I think Mom is hyping you up in the chat too. So very nice.
Thanks, Mom.
Right now, the top comment is Clay Smith with clap, clap, clap. That's the best comment so far. So if anyone can beat that, holler at Clay Smith. Next comment coming to the stage. I'm really enjoying this show, guys. I'm having a lot of fun. She is very funny, and you guys are really going to enjoy this. Give it up for Maya Arden. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I happen to have a mic in the room that I am in. I grabbed it 3 minutes before it started, so that should tell you a little something about my personality. And I just hope everyone's staying safe, obviously, but I would like to say that I'm the prime demographic because I am an 80-year-old man trapped inside of a 15-year-old girl's body. So my immune system is, we're scared. Yeah, we're scared. Sure, I give off a vibe of sweet perfume, but on the inside, it's all mothballs. I don't know what happened. One moment I was smoking a Cuban cigar and the next thing I know, I'm passing notes in my math class about who I like. I enjoy spending my free time listening to Frank Sinatra on my Victrola and yelling at my family because somebody raised the heat. Do they know how much that extra 5 degrees costs? In quarantine, my family, we try to stay away from each other, give each other our space. So, my parents will be on their iPads and iPhones watching TikToks and playing Candy Crush. Meanwhile, I'm in my room watching the Andy Griffith Show, oh my golly, leaping lizards. Opie is a crush on his teacher, but Andy's going steady with her. Scandal in the Taylor house. I love having an old soul, but sometimes Irving, he's the old man that lives inside of me. He can try to take control sometimes, and it can get a little out of hand. Every once in a while, a little, pubescent boy will come up to me and be like, "Hey, Maya, you want like go on a date or what?" What? And before I even get the chance to respond, Irving decides to take the lead. Ha! I laugh at you, you uncultured swine. I don't know. Do you want me to be your girl? Coward, trying to hide in the darkness of a movie theater. Take me on a real date. a carriage ride through Central Park, a nice steak dinner, but till then, go shave your rat mustache and try again when you've become a real man. Yeah, he said that. It gets a little out of hand, but the boy will just like slump off and I'll scold Irving, but all he cares about is getting home in time for Wheel of Fortune. I would just like to acknowledge all the boys everywhere, because girls were confusing and we all know it too. All I know is that if I say I'm fine, I'm not fine, and you better bring me chocolate tomorrow. Speaking of chocolates, my birthday's coming up, gotta love cake. So yes, I will be 16 in quarantine. And I have guilted my parents into giving me almost anything I want because of said events. And, you know, although I'm not going to be able to see any of my friends, that does not mean that I'm not holding them accountable for getting me gifts. I'm holding them very accountable. I've given them all my address. So I'm going to get a lot of packages. You know, my boyfriend, he wasn't sure what to get me. So he asked his mom, like, what'd she like? You know, I'm a typical girly girl. I like flowers, chocolate, you know, the dark arts. So I was hoping for maybe like some nice like candies, maybe a lip gloss, some Eye of Newt, you know, a new cauldron. I've been using mine a lot. But you know, when he said something about makeup, he was like, his mom said, I don't really like her makeup. First of all, that's sharp. Second of all, what? Like, why would he tell me that? I thought I was supposed to like his mom. She's a lovely person, but you know, they are very religious. They're Catholic. I'm Jewish, so star-crossed lovers. So I looked up, you know, maybe it has something to do with their religion. So I found out that online there's this huge debate whether wearing makeup is a sin. And basically, the rundown of this is that if you wear makeup to incite lust or envy in someone, it is a sin. But if you wear it so that your husband doesn't commit adultery or leave you or despise you, then it is not a sin. And I looked up the same thing, you know, makeup in the Jewish religion. All I saw was how to do your makeup for the Shabbos, you know, a nice long lasting lipstick, some stronghold hairspray for your sheitel. All right, you've been a lovely audience. Andy Griffith is about to come on, so thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Maya. She recently just hit the dye your own hair stage of being bored at home. So that's always
Indeed,
nice.
I did.
Everybody, we got 60 people watching on YouTube right now. You love to see it. Usually we do jokes from kids, but a few people in the chat got some good jokes. I'll read them out loud. Best joke wins something. And I know Nadia, you're in the chat. I know you got some fire jokes. Nick, you're probably watching as well. So if you guys got any, that'll be fun. And then next, coming up to the stage, another very funny comic that you guys are really going to enjoy. Give it up for Petra Popper Friedman, everybody. Yeah.
Hi. Obviously, this show is kind of weird. We're in quarantine. I'm trying to ignore the fact that my parents are in such close proximity. I don't really know where to look. I can't hear the audience laughing at any of my jokes. Oh, it's actually pretty similar to a regular show. A little bit getting to know me. Hi, I'm Petra, and I'm conversationally compact. I kind of come at you with the speed and eye contact of like an oil tanker in heat. And I've gotten a little bit better about it, but I was at kind of peak intensity in probably middle school area. I was kind of like the cross between the class nerd and then the kid who like sits in the back making observations about other people's teeth. I feel like every middle school had one, and everyone's like, what's up with Jeremy? And the teacher's like, we don't know. And that was me. And so I was very weird. And I remember that this one time I was talking to this boy, a really nice kid, great upper bicuspids. And we're having a normal conversation. And about a minute in, he stops me and he goes, you're intense. Kind of like a mid-conversation performance review. And I really wanted to clinch that raise. So I just went all in and I was like, I have 2 swords in my bedroom. And I wasn't wrong, but I, in the larger sense of things, wasn't right. And I wasn't just like bad at conversations. I was just all around difficult to be around. I thought that you were only supposed to wear deodorant at night when you're not moving and not around anybody. And what I learned from that was that if you get your antiperspirant usage like aligned with your circadian rhythm, you feel really at one with yourself, and also no one will come within 5 feet of you. I was tall, I was kind of awkward proportionally, I had greasy hair to my waist. I was kind of like if you took a mop and then chucked a jar of olive oil at it. And I was on the soccer team where I was the only girl on the team, and this was important because it was 6th grade. So none of the boys had hit their growth spurt yet, and I was built like a long-haired lamppost, so I just towered above everybody. And I didn't have a lot of like actual athletic skill, but I didn't need to because I was so much bigger than everyone else that I'd kind of just bowl them over and like part the sea like a pubescent Moses. And I wondered more recently why the refs didn't call more fouls on me. And I think they were going to. They like blew the whistle and they were like, hey kid, get over here. And then they kind of caught a whiff of the human Zamboni plowing towards them. And they were like, actually, you're fine right there. It's good. Oh my God, did you see that? It's so tall. Is it looking at my teeth? I've grown up since then. I've matured. I'm a woman of refined tastes. I like going to the opera in particular. It's really fun. You pay a lot of money so you can watch a show while the grandmother next to you goes, Frank, Frank, they're singing, Frank, the whole time. I do like it though. I really enjoy the opera. But I know that a lot of people, especially people my age, don't like it because there is somehow this myth in our culture that opera is this highbrow form of entertainment. And this is just false. Opera is basically like a 16th century Lifetime movie. And I know that you may not know that much about opera, but I do. And it's my stand-up show, or my stand-up bit. And I'm gonna show you how unpretentious opera really is with a Petra Popper Friedman operetta original called The Plight of Donatella. So please enjoy. So a man walks on stage and he's like, I'm Sergesto. And to let you know the bad guy, I'll act like Freddy Krueger with arthritis. And then a woman like, I'm Donatella. And we're like, okay, Donatella, do you want to tell us anything else about yourself? And she's like, I have hair. And we're like, okay, Donatella, did you really need a 10-minute song to tell us that information? And she's like, wait, did I mention I have hair? And we're like, yes, Donatella, self-absorbed much. And then Sergesto's like, everybody, listen to my evil plan. I'm going to steal Donatella's hair. And you're like, really? I paid $200 for this Pulitzer Prize winning storyline. And Donatella's like, oh no, my hair, I have hair. And we're like, yes, Donatella, you just told us that. And then a guy comes out and he's like, I am Martino. I'm here to save Donatella. From far away, I look like a dashing young man. Up close, I'm a middle-aged actor named Carl. And then he takes one of Donatella's hairpins and he stabs Sergesto because plot. And then he's like, Donatella, will you marry me? And she's like, I've known you for 2 seconds. So yes, the end. Thank you for watching. I assume you've been a great audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Petra killed it as always. And thank you to Tom Popper for confirming that she doesn't check our swords. You love to see it. Next, coming up to the stage is a person I introduced at the start of the show. You guys probably added him on Snapchat. I'm snapping him right now, probably. Give it up for your man, Spencer Kahn. Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Sure.
I don't know where you guys are, but I'm enjoying my time at the beach. It's nice and refreshing and a great escape. Just kidding. I'm inside again. Haha, got you. Life is so exciting. Being stuck in quarantine. That's just my cry for help. I appreciate the 5 new friends I have on Snapchat since the beginning of the show. I hate being inside. What's going on, guys? My name is Spencer. I'm loving quarantine, at least for myself. Again, stay inside, be healthy, be safe, all that stuff. I have to be honest. When coronavirus first hit New York, I thought it was not the worst thing in the world before anyone died, of course, because I saw a tweet like right after it came in the MTA, from the MTA, and they were like, don't worry, guys, we are finally going to clean the trains. And that's the joke. That's all I really have to say about that. They should have gone on that a bit. It's all good. No, I feel like in general, Corona has really brought out the best/worst in people. There's a trend right now that's what a hilarious trend, which is not wearing pants during class or Zoom calls or anything going on. And so I asked the chat, I'll be like, hi chat, YouTube chat. If you're not wearing pants right now, say I. And since there's like lag, I'm gonna assume there's gonna be like 50 million eyes going by just to prove my point. But essentially, for some reason in my school, there are many people who are like, oh, I don't want to wear pants. It's not what's going on. And like I get it, because Zoom provides like a lot of unique experiences you could have otherwise. For example, I can now eat during class, which is an advantage. You can make your virtual background like a dumb photo of yourself or something. I don't know, pretty much anything, but like not wearing pants? Is that really what people's first option is? Like if you've ever taken like a math test and in the middle, you're like, make this better? No pants. Then you got bigger problems than Corona. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, that's enough about other people. I'm talking about myself for a bit. Once again, hello, my name is Spencer. A fact you may not know about me is that I'm an only child, which is pretty cool. Growing up as an only child, you play a lot of weird games people might not know. For example, you guys know that game Hide and Seek? Well, I played something similar called Hide. It's a really complicated game. What you do is you find a closet and then you sit in it for 2 hours and then you win. Really a whole lot of fun. Another game I used to play, you guys know that game Catch? Played something similar called Throw. Again, it's a bit complicated, so stick with me. What you do is you get a ball and then you throw it. That's the game. What's funny is like the amount of excitement I had as a child is the exact same I'm having right now, stuck at home. Another fun part that you might not know is that I'm actually very tall. It's very fun, very tall for my age. I am 18 years old, but I still have to go to like the pediatrician, like little kids doctor, despite all this evidence to the contrary. And like, I feel like, I don't know the best way to phrase this. My point being is I don't know, I feel like they should stop that, okay? The thing about going to a pediatrician is you guys can probably tell it's not really a place made for somebody like me, Like when they have to measure me, they just stack two nurses on top of each other. Stand on the scale, doesn't even say number, just says, wow, it's a fat baby. Anyway, I reminisce on the last few times I went outside. It was great, it was fresh, and yeah, that's really it. But I did pass by something funny. I passed by a diner. There's a sign on the side that said, do not worry, we have gazpacho. And I gotta be honest, guys, at that moment, I was not worried. I was like, everything is going to be completely fine for the next 6 to 7 months. I'm not worried at all. But it made me think, because usually signs like this are put up in response to something happening, Like what prompted that sign to go up on that diner, I imagine it's like super late at night one night and a guy walks into the diner and he busts down the door and he's like, everyone, I'm extremely worried and I want cold, chunky tomato soup. The waitstaff is like, oh my God, we can solve both those problems. We got to tell the world, do not worry, we have gazpacho. That's why that sign's there. Speaking of weird signs, I was in a fancy restaurant the other day. I went to the bathroom. And there's a sign on the mirror that said, beware of the hot water of the sink, I was like, that's weird. So I turned on the hot water and then it stabbed me. So that was unfortunate. Anyway, here's another cool thing. Growing up now, I'm going to college soon, which is pretty cool. So I've been reminiscing on all the role models I had growing up. I gotta say, best role model was definitely the Peanuts comic strip. You guys know that one? Taught me a bunch of great life lessons and a bunch of terrible ones. For example, I feel like Charlie Brown would be a much better person if he went to a psychiatrist that more than 5 does good investment. I feel like Peanuts relate to the most has got to be Schroeder. This kid, he's my favorite. What I love about Schroeder is he's just like me. He's very socially inept. For example, there is a girl who used to sit in his piano, Lucy, and it'll be all up in his face and say, I love you and stuff and all the great stuff. And he didn't say anything to her for 50 years. All right, now that is commitment for my man Schroeder back there. And I feel like that's kind of like me. I don't really tell what's going on in the world, especially if I have a weird relationship with girls. For example, I've been dating my girlfriend now for about a year, which is pretty crazy. And dating during high school in general, you get a bunch of weird questions from people. For example, one weird question I got from my friends recently was, wow, Spencer, you've been dating her for a very long time. How have you not run out of things to talk about? The answer is, we have. A long time ago, but it's okay because I learned a very easy solution to this problem for my parents over their many years of being married, and it's called being a loud, observant Jew. Let me explain. You see, the key to being an LOJ, it's very simple. What you do is you walk around the city, you see something weird, and then you say it as loud as possible. Is it obnoxious? Yes. But does it start a conversation every time? Also, yes. So that's a total win in my book. When you do this, though, being an LJ, you see a bunch of weird things around the city. For example, before this whole Corona thing shut everyone indoors, I was on the bus, and I saw a sign on the bus that said, if you see a crime in progress, tell a nearby police officer. So I have several questions about this sign. Number one, if there's a crime in progress and there's a nearby police officer, why are they not doing anything about the crime in progress? Isn't that their one job, to stop said crime in progress? Number two, I'm a born and raised New Yorker. If I see a crime in progress, my number one thought is never, let's stop this crime in progress. It's, will this affect my commute? If the answer is yes, then I tell a police officer. So that's it. Thank you all for being a wonderful audience. I've been Spencer. You've been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Spencer. That was awesome.
Ooh,
Comics, how are we feeling? You guys feeling good right now?
feeling good.
Yeah, I love it, because we just had someone in the YouTube chat take us up on our little proposal to have a joke. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. We got Nick Meritato. He just commented, I'm a big fan of comedy, so this is right up my alley. Here's how it's going to go. We're going to read out his joke. If everybody in this Zoom call laughs, then I will personally mail Nick $200. Okay, we ready? Here is Nick's joke. Why did the kid throw a clock out the window? Because he hated clocks.
Oh geez, that's a good one.
Got the whole quarantine laughing, man. Okay, so Nick, I'll be sending you that $200. Just DM me your address on Instagram. Next, coming up to the stage, we have the mystery guest that I was talking about earlier in the show. This comic has graduated from Kids in Comedy, and she is very funny. Now she goes to college at Boston University, and she's back here. You know, that's the benefit of being online, that we can make stuff like this happen. So everybody, a big round of applause to Avery Lender.
Yeah, Avery.
Wow. Wow, guys. This is pretty awesome. I'd just like to take a second to acknowledge my background. Here we have a fabulous picture of Spencer Khan. Just want everyone to make sure that they notice that before I started. So I actually, because I'm a college student coming back, staying on Zoom, I just woke up actually around 10 minutes ago. So, you know, I'm starting off my day with a classic quarantine drink that, I think you call it bleach. Yeah, I mean, that is what the president is saying is the cure for Corona. So might as well start every morning with that. So, you know, I'm missing college a lot, obviously, being back at home. And I'm currently experiencing something in college that I've never experienced before. And that something is called religious leverage. So I'll explain for you what it is. I am actually the only Jewish person out of all of my friends, which is definitely a big transition from what I was used to in the city. And, you know, I mean, sure, it's aggravating explaining why I get a free trip to Israel, but my friend John O'Connell doesn't, or why the tiny disc on my dad's head has no connection to my Frisbee career. And actually, he'd be pretty mad if you grabbed it and threw it across the room. But honestly, it brings more good than it does bad. Let's say I'm sitting in my bed and my roommate turns off the lights while I'm still studying. I can just say, God, that's so insensitive. Don't you know that darkness is one of the 10 plagues? I mean, come on, man. Or, you know, convincing my roommate that dreidel is played with real money while I just throw in gelt, although that might be perpetuating a few stereotypes. I mean, even for my sorority, and yes, I am in a sorority, there's more than meets the eye to Avery Lender. What can I say? I had to put my hand on the Bible, this is true, in order to show my good Christian values and pledge. And when I went up to put my hand on the Bible, I was like, hey, can I just get the first edition of this? But they didn't really like that very much. So I'm gonna switch for a sec. So recently, my ex-boyfriend actually broke up with me. And yeah, I'm old enough to get on Farmers Only, so you don't have to worry about me. But one of the hardest parts I've realized about breakups is the rebound, like who you're gonna rebound with. Do you know who my ex rebounded with? This is 100% true. My ex rebounded with Michael J. Fox's daughter. I am being 100% serious. How am I supposed to compete with that? You know, it took me a while, but I did come up with something that I think might get back at him a little. I actually made a time machine, went back in time, and made out with his dad. So, you know, that really showed him. But, you know, I genuinely do think that all couples should break up during quarantine, and then we can just start from scratch so everyone's single. And, you know, that's not so I can get back with my ex, but so I can maybe finally have a chance with Spencer. You know, I mean, now that I don't have all the distractions of frat boys, I'm in a sorority, just saying it again. I've been reflecting on my past relationships a lot because what else am I going to do? Like self-improve? No. So I'm going to talk about one of my ex-boyfriends. I started dating this guy. Oh, my dad's doing the laundry if you guys want to listen to that.
Why did you yell? Is he talking to-
Thanks, Dad. Yo, Dad, I'm doing some stand-up right now. Can you keep it down? All right, I'm back in it. So I was dating this guy during my senior year of high school, and we were dating for around 2 days when I found out about my first choice school, which was actually Northwestern. And from Luca's introduction, you know that didn't work out. I got deferred from Northwestern. And getting deferred from college is kind of like being in an open relationship. You know, the colleges are basically saying, we really like you and we really think you're smart, but there's probably a better version of you out there somewhere. So, you know, I got deferred and I decided to call my boyfriend to complain. And I was like, I'm so upset. I got deferred. I feel like I'm going to die. I'm so sad. And he hung up kind of abruptly, which was, you know, a little bit of a shock why he was being so unsupportive. But, you know, I realized 5 minutes later, he was actually really supportive because 2 policemen knocked on my door and they were like, "Are you Avery Lender?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "We just got a call to make sure you're okay." So when I had said that to my boyfriend, he thought I was actually in danger and called the police to my house, which, you know, kind of sucked because now I was trying to have, you know, a low-key night. I was watching Cupcake Wars. Now I have to entertain these cops. Although my mom really likes entertaining guests, so she was having a blast. She was like, "Do you boys need any coffee, cookies? Let me, you know, polish your badges real quick." And my sister is a big fan of Cops TV shows, so she was pretty excited too. She was asking them all these questions like, "Oh, what was your craziest arrest?" Or like, "Can I hold your gun for a little bit?" You know, the cops are really having a fun time. I asked them at one point, you know, how'd you know it was me? How'd you identify me amongst all these, you know, other possible people it could have been that he was calling about because it had to be anonymous? And he said, "Oh, you know, the normal things." He said that you had brown hair, blue eyes, and were Jewish looking, which was kind of, you know, offensive to me. First of all, because he wasn't Jewish, so I don't really know what he meant by that. But also, I live on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, so that girl could have been anyone. Like, he really should have been a little more specific with that. But, you know, eventually the cops realized that, you know, I'm obviously fine, and they left my house. So I called my boyfriend and I asked him, or, you know, soon to be ex-boyfriend, "Hey, just a quick question, you know, why'd you feel the need to call the police to my house?" And he said, and this is 100% true, "As a certified lifeguard, I am allowed to call the police whenever I want to." Which, you know, was a little confusing to me. Like, in Lifeguard Academy, when they graduated, was he like, the professor like, "All right, guys, you're lifeguards now, which means we're allowed to tell you the secret phone number to the police. No one else knows this, you know, get out your pen and pencil. 911. All right, that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Sunday.
Yeah.
guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much, Avery, for popping in. We got one more comic for you. One more comic. Are you guys ready to hear your last comic? Everybody give it up for Julian Gerber. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Before I start, I just want to say, Avery, I'm sorry. I thought that as a lifeguard, it would be appropriate for me to call the police, but I guess not. That's my bad. I'll take that. But anyway, this definitely is a weird new format. You know, it's weird not being able to hear you guys laugh or not laugh. So, you know, in the YouTube chat, please feel free to give me some feedback, talk to me, make conversation. You know, really, this is an opportunity to make friends. It is unfortunate, though, I can't do some of my normal material, which mostly centers around taking the one train, which is a little unfortunate. But overall, you know, even though this tragedy, it's really rough, it has been a great time for celebrities to come out and act in solidarity with other wealthy people. It's, you know, I don't know if you saw this, where it was like 10 15 celebrities singing Imagine, like John Lennon. It was a really nice, it was a nice sentiment, but maybe saying Imagine there's no heaven isn't the best thing to say to a bunch of people dying. But you know, just a thought. In quarantine, it is unfortunate. You know, obviously I haven't been able to like go outside in New York. I'm kind of missing the New York City vibe, the whole, you know, situation there. Because to be honest, like, New York is awful, but it's got that sort of charm to it, you know? Like when the guy breakdancing on the subway accidentally kicks you in the face, it sucks, but it feels cultured. So you know, I'm definitely missing that. But in quarantine, I've had the opportunity to catch up on some reality TV. So I've been watching a lot of episodes of Love Island. I don't know if you guys know that show. Basically, Love Island, what it is, it's bunch of people on an island, and they're supposed to find love on that island. And it is absolutely trashy, it's creepy, but I love it. And I feel bad about watching such an objectively awful show. So I've come up with my own sort of spin on this reality TV show. So I'm gonna pitch it to you guys right now. Basically, it's the same premise: bunch of people on an island looking for love, but the twist is, one of those people, one of the contestants, is actually a psychoanalyst. And at the end of the show, they all receive their diagnoses as low functioning narcissists. Yeah. Anyway, another thing that just happened over quarantine that I was pretty excited about, actually. I got my college decisions back. I'm a senior in high school. So I got all my college decisions. And it was nice. I got accepted to some places, got rejected from some other places. It was weird though, because I got put on the wait list at a bunch of colleges as well. And if you're unfamiliar with the process, basically being on the wait list means that if the college gets rejected, you know, if someone who actually was accepted into the college declines their offer, so more spots open up, and then they go to the wait list. So really the whole thing, it's like, if you ask out a girl and she says, yeah, but only once I ask out 2,000 other people. And then if she gets rejected enough by those 2,000 other people, then she'll give you a chance. And then once you actually, if you do get the chance to go on the date, you still have to pay for dinner, and dinner costs $65,000 plus room and board. So it's not a good deal. But, you know, with these college decisions, they send a letter, digitally now, but it's still a letter, and they're absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's complete nonsense. This is a direct quote from, this is the first sentence from a rejection letter I received from a particular college. It goes, the Board of Admission has completed its evaluation of more than 35,000 applications, and it is with great regret that we must inform you that your application could not be included among our acceptances. And, you know, I love how they say my application could not be accepted, as if it was like ordained by God that I may not go to your school. Well, it's like I could have been accepted. I just wasn't. Like, own your decision. It's okay. Because, you know, I really think rejection letters should be concise and brutal, okay? The perfect rejection letter is just, Dear Julian Gerber, thousands of extremely talented students applied to our college. You were not one of them. Sincerely, some intern in the admissions office, probably. P.S. Your writing is about as lively as an obituary. That is a good rejection letter. It gives you everything you need. But you know, because I'm on the wait list, I have to literally like opt. I have to tell the college whether I'm opting to stay on the wait list or be removed and whatever. And basically you have to fill out this little form, and there are 3 options of what you can tell a college. You can say, number 1, please keep me on the wait list. Number 2, please take me off of the wait list. Or 3, my parents are wealthy, you know what to do. So I'm currently deciding between 1 and 3. You know, I'm not sure whether I should stay on the wait list or donate a library. You know, it's a tough decision. It does, being on a wait list though, it puts me in a tough mental place in terms of making new friends. Because even before you're possibly accepted or rejected off of this wait list, you have to commit to a school that you are accepted to. So I've committed somewhere without really knowing for sure if I'm 100% going to end up going there. So, you know, on one hand, I'm trying to connect with some really great people who are also going to this college I committed to. But on the other hand, if I get in somewhere else, I will absolutely drop each and every one of them, no matter what. So it's definitely a strange vibe, because, you know, I can't fully commit myself to like school spirit, the team spirit, you know. I can't be like, yeah, let's go Lions for life, or the next 2 weeks. It's really up in the air. We'll see. It is nice though. I feel almost in a position of power, because now that I'm deciding what school I actually want to go to, I can decline the other schools. So it really turns, you know, the tables have turned now. I am in the position of power. So when you notify these schools to decline their offer, they ask you to explain why you're rejecting them and what college you're actually going to. So I really, you know, I really gave them what they're looking for. So this is what I wrote to one particular college. Dear Board of Admissions, I've completed my evaluation of more than 35,000 colleges, and it is with great regret that I must inform you that your college could not be included in my acceptances. Anyway, thank you guys. This has been fun. See ya.
Yeah. Thank you to Julian. Guys, that's our show. Thank you everyone for sticking around on YouTube and watching this kind of experiment of how to do an online show. Can you guys hear me? Am I like unstable? You're good? Okay, yeah, this was awesome. Thank you to Joanne and Stu for, making this program possible. Thank you to Matt. He helped us with the technical side of this show, killed it, the GOAT. Thank you all the comics. We missed you, Avery. It was nice having you back. All you other comics, killed it as usual. And I thought this was a really fun show. So, thank you all for watching it, and have a nice rest of the day.
Woo!
Bye.
See you guys. I don't know how this ends.
Yeah.